who is ready for another instalment of my top 100 albums of the 90s? I am, and as I'm fully in control of this project, we'll go for it because mine's the only vote that counts. So we are up to 70 through to 61, and I've got 10 albums just waiting, patable at the side of me here. So here we go with number 70. Number 70 is Betty Boo, Boomania. Boomania? Boomania. Boomania. From 1990. With the singles Where Are You Baby, Doing the Do, Hey DJ, I Can't Dance, and 24 Hours. Now, I think this is packed full of more potential singles, particularly Valentine's Day and Don't Know What to Do. The fact that Don't Know What to Do isn't hailed as one of the greatest pop songs of the 90s, I don't know, it is by me. And also it came in this lovely variant. Oh, a picture disc. It's actually, you can't really tell it's a picture disc until you go, oh, it is a picture disc. My favourite track on this would probably be, oh, these are all like smooshed together as songs that I love. But these days, if I was to pick one, it would probably be 24 Hours. And I need you 24 hours. Right, 69 is Northern Star by Mel C. Melanie C, her artist title. Now, I knew I would love this album the first time I heard Gaga. I got a promo of the Big Daddy soundtrack, and Gaga was on it. I'm like, oh, she's going to do well here. And then I saw her at Heaton Park Radio 1 Festival in '99, and she sang Gaga and Going Down, and the crowd pretty much didn't like it. And the crowd were wrong, it's great. People are like, oh, Going Down, oh, Rocky kind of thing. I think it's great. And then after that she had the singles Never Be the Same Again and I Turn to You, which became number ones, and then people started buying the album. There was also Northern Star and If That Were Me as singles off this. And it is my number 69 album of the 90s. I think... No, I'm not going to say that. It might have been a spoiler. I think my favourite track of this would be... It would probably be Go, I think. Go or Gaga. Anything that begins with G, really. 68 in my countdown. Also a CD. Got the CDs out of the way. Danny Minogue, Girl. Or the variant where she's like kind of looking at you. Now there's a lot of love for this album. And rightly so. It's I suppose it's like a Girls Aloud album before Girls Aloud were Girls Aloud. And it features the singles All I Want to Do, Everything I Wanted. Coconut was a single in Australia and Asia. But my favourite track off this, and one of my favourite pop songs ever, is Disremembrance. Just hands in the air gloriousness. I have got hands at the end of this, they don't just end here. And it should be on vinyl by now. I don't know what's happening. I wouldn't know what's happening. I don't know why I would know what's happening. I said it like I would. So that was 70, 69, 68, 67th favourite album of the 90s. Jam and Spoon, Tripomatic Fairy Tales 2001. Was it 2000? Yeah, 2001. There was a 2002 variant as well, I got confused. Now, when this was released, 2001 seemed years away. And there's different variants of this album as well, as certain singles became hits and they chopped and changed and put things in. So I'd really like to find the version that's got Angel on it as well. But I don't have that one. I have the one without Angel on it. And I have to pick a favourite track of this one. Really nice Balearic trance, kind of Euro dancey. I think it's a unique sounding album for what it is, and the track Odyssey to Anyuna is my favourite of this, and it's also what became the single Find Me. Find Me. That's how she said it. Says it. So Find Me, baby. Oh no no. Odyssey to Anuna is just big 10-minute version of that just gets into your brain. But also, we've got Stella on this album. It needs a mention because Stella is also one of the greatest dance songs ever made. And it also has Right in the Night on it. But it doesn't have Find Me on it either because it's got Odyssey to Anuna. So I need to add this onto my want list, the variant that has the single versions on it as well. So that was 60. Oh dear me! Yeah, 68, 68. This is album number 66. My 66th favourite album of the 90s is Orbital Insides. Now Orbital habitually do cover art that I don't like, and this one's no exception. I like the colours, but it just looks messy, and there's like a little bit of a ball bag at the top. Not pleasant. This is from 1996, so the single The Box, and then Nothing Left came after that. I'm just looking at this, Nothing Left isn't actually on this album. I had not realised. There's nothing left off this album. It's not, is it? No, Nothing Left is off Middle of Nowhere. That's why it's not on this album. I thought there was 2 singles off this. There's clearly not. I'm clearly getting confused in my old age. The Box, anyway, was the big single off this. My favourite track off this, though, is The Girl with the Sun in Her... The Girl with the Sun in Her Head. I have not had enough coffee today to actually be able to pronounce a series of words in a row. 65th best album of the 90s, M People, Elegant Slumming. Now this, for nothing else, would get its slot for Ooh, oh, 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 which isn't actually on the version of Renaissance that's on this album. My favourite track off this is probably Renaissance, or Natural Thing. My love, my love, my love. I think it's Our Love, never mind. One Night in Heaven, moving on up. I'd like this to have the Sasha version of How Can I Love You More in it, because mentally I put it on this album. And I think when I create playlists on my iTunes, I put it on there, so I'm surprised to not see it on there. But I quickly dodged a curveball by saying the wrong thing again when picking my favourite track off an album. It also has Don't Look Any Further on it, which is a great song. But I'm going to stick with Renaissance for Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. 60... What was that one? So that's 61, 62, 60, so 64th, my 64th favourite album of the 90s. Snap, The Madman's Return. This is the 3rd version. The first version has the single Colour of Love on it, the second one has Colour of Love, and the third one has Colour of Love, but it doesn't have Rhythm as a Dancer on it, or Exterminate, or Do You See the Light. So this one, I don't think this one even has Do You See the Light on it. I think they just gave up releasing singles and then realising it wasn't on the album, and wanted to put on the version of the album out. So this actually has the singles. Colour of Love wasn't a hit. Rhythm as a Dancer, mega hit. Exterminate, also big hit, but people tend to forget about that one. And Do You See the Light is just down as See the Light here. And my favourite track off this one would have to be Rhythm as a Dancer. And I don't need to explain that. But it's got other great tracks on it. I love Who Stole It off this one as well. And Madman's Return's great. Yeah, that's that. 63rd. I'm never sure which the front cover of this album is. Is it that side or is it that side? I want to say that side, but it doesn't seem right because it's got the credits on it. Either way, 808 State XL is my 63rd favourite album of the 90s. It's a really good, like, post-rave, chilled listen, and it features Björk before she released any solo material on the track Oops and Q-Mart. It's also got Bernard Sumner from New Order on it, and I enjoy it a lot. It's a great listen from start to end, and I can't think what other... Oh yeah, so I can't think what the singles were off this. So we have Cubic and Olympic with a double A side, Oops with Björk on it, Lift, and the big hit was In Your Face. In Your Face. It says In Your Face. I don't think there's any nice way to say In Your Face. So In Your Face. I will enunciate the words properly. My favourite track of this would be Oops because of the Björk link, and she's amazing. But I love the track Lift as well. My 62nd favourite album of the 90s comes in two parts because it's my list, my rules, and I make these rules. Because the reason is because originally the 62nd spot in my list was taken up by one album, and then another album took its place, and I've decided to, because they're very closely linked, and let me tell you why. 62, Inner City, Praise. I keep saying it's a great listen from start to end. It's because at this point of my countdown, I love all these albums quite a lot. And I don't know why my voice is going. I've only been up like 2 hours. But the track Hallelujah, Pennies from Heaven is a hands in the air dance classic. Hallelujah was then mixed by Left Field. And became a hit, and then Pennies from Heaven was a hit, and then there was Let It Rain was a single off this as well, and it's got a great sort of Chicago house rave mixed with a really soulful gospel vibe from Paris Grey, and it's such a lush sounding album, to the point when I saw Inner City live last year without Paris Grey and vocals, it didn't hit the same mark for me because the dance, yeah, this is a great song, was there, but the soul, the love, the passion delivered by Paris, not that the other singer wasn't great, but Paris Grey is one of the greatest vocalists in dance music ever. And the reason why it's a two-parter is because originally this slot was taken by Testament 93. Now, I didn't know Testament 93 was just a remix album until about 5 years after I bought it. Testament 93 has the Left Field mix of Hallelujah on it, but it also has Till We Meet Again, the Brothers in Rhythm remix, which is off the previous album Fire, which didn't make this list, and it should have made this list, and I'm so conflicted because I can't only get 100 in the list, and I nearly put like a triple 62 with Fire as well, but I make my own rules, but that was one little tweak too far. So this is a two-parter, Testament 93, Praise. Oh, also it's got on it this one. The remix of Praise on this is like a 12-minute version by the Future Sound of London. Brilliant. 62, so 61. Pause for a burp. 61, Portishead Dummy, an album I love loads, but I have to be in a very specific mood to listen to it. I used to listen to this when I was when I first started my first like full-time job in '96, and I'd listen to it on the bus on the way into work, and then I found I'd arrive into work in a really dark mood, so then I had to start listening to really happy dance pop music before I went into work, so I arrived in a lighter mood. But it's a great grumbling album. What a compliment. Your album's grumbling, but you must have heard this, you must have heard the songs off it, you know what I'm talking about. It's grumbling. Grumbling is my new compliment of the year. If I describe you as a grumbler, it's a good thing. Alright, that was 73 to 61, back soon with 60 to 51.